Hello guys and welcome back to MakersBox. We hope that you are doing good and you are safe. Now in today's video we are going to show you something very interesting which has just hit the electronics market and has taken the world by storm. So guys, this is the Raspberry Pi Pico for you. Okay, now in this video I'm going to show you how to set up your Raspberry Pi Pico and how to write your first code. So let's get started. Now to set up the Raspberry Pi Pico, what you have to do is you will need a micro USB cable and a laptop or a desktop, of course. So there is this small white button on your Raspberry Pi Pico, and what you need to do is you need to press this small white button. So you need to press this small white button under which boot cell is written. Okay, so you'll press this button and connect it with your system, which would eventually connect this as a USB mass storage. So after connecting, you should look at your laptop or desktop's explorer, and what you will find is that this Raspberry Pi is connected as a USB mass storage right here, RPi minus RP2. So what we will do now is we will open this up and visit the index, which is basically the Pico page on Raspberry Pi. And now we want to install MicroPython on this. So to install MicroPython, what we will do is we will go to this tab, getting started with MicroPython, and we will download the UF2 file, and it's downloaded. So we don't actually want to open it, we just want to show it. Okay, so it's in the downloads folder. I'll go to the downloads folder, and here I have the UF2 file. So what I'm going to do is to install MicroPython on the Raspberry Pi Pico, I will have to basically drag and drop this file inside the Raspberry Pi Pico directory. So I'll open another Explorer window, and yeah, here we go. So now we have two Explorer windows open. One is the downloads folder, one is my computer. I will drag this and drop this over here. And as you can see, okay, let me just bring myself. See, setting up a device. So the board is now in the terminal mode. Board is in FS mode and it is ready to go. So now what has happened over here is the MicroPython is running on this small board. Okay, and what we are going to do is we are going to write a small MicroPython code. To write the MicroPython code, we are going to need something called a REPL or REPL. Alright, so I'm going to link the link to the software in the description below. As soon as you will click on that link, you will be taken to Roger Meyer's freeware, and from here you can basically download the software for Windows. It should take a little bit of time because it's 18.6 MB. So what is REPL basically? REPL is basically a bridge between your system and MicroPython. Okay, it's like a terminal where you can write your MicroPython code and it will be reflected on your Raspberry Pi Pico. So using REPL is really good, and REPL should help you in executing commands and accessing all these pins which are available. So before we move forward, let me give you an overview of Raspberry Pi Pico. So Raspberry Pi Pico basically is a low cost, high performance microcontroller board with flexible digital interfaces, and it runs on dual core ARM Cortex M0 Plus processor, which is right here, and it is designed by Raspberry Pi Foundation, and it has 264 KB of SRAM and 2 MB of memory, which is like way higher than any Arduino board possible. And this is the pinout, and as you can see, LED GP25. So this LED over here, which is right next to the micro USB port, is connected to the pin number 25 of your Raspberry Pi Pico, which is right here. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to write a code to glow this LED. And for that, what we need to do is we need to open the Roger Myers freeware that we have just downloaded, which is called the CoolTerm. And I will extract this. Alright. Now, if you'll run this, I'm going to use the default preferences, of course. So, now if you are going to run this software, now what we need to do is we need to connect your Raspberry Pi Pico with this terminal. So, we will click on connect. And it is connected. The Raspberry Pi Pico is on COM9, so we need to check that. So I'll open up the device manager. I'll go to ports COM and LPT, and I have a USB serial device COM9, so that's fine. Now what I'm going to do is so I'm going to type my command. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to import pins from the Raspberry Pi Pico MicroPython. So I'll type from space machine import pin. Okay, and alright, let me just write from machine import pin. Okay, so pins are imported. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to define a global variable called LED, and because the LED is connected on pin number 25, what I'm going to do is I'm going to declare that pin as an output. So LED equals to pin bracket starts 25 comma pin dot out, enter. Okay, so now what has happened is my pin number 25 is declared or being set as an output pin. So what I will do is now I will send it a value of 1, or basically setting it high. So LED dot value 1. Now what is happening over here? LED is my variable which is basically connected to pin number 25, and I'm setting it to 1. As soon as I'll press enter, not sure if you can see this. Let me just change the camera for a sec. Yeah, so as you can see now, the LED right here, it's basically glowing. Okay, similarly what you can do is you can turn it off. So for that, what you need to do is you can send LED.value 0, or you can just send the toggle command. So toggle command basically changes the state of LED. If it is off, it will become on, or if it is on, it will become off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write LED.toggle, right, LED LED dot toggle and enter. And as you can see, just a sec, yeah, the LED is now off. All right, so we can also write a function in order to turn it on and off back to back. So for that we need to create a timer in this basically MicroPython code, and we need to run a function. So first we'll create a timer, and then we'll write the function to turn it on and off. Now to create the timer, what we will do is, now we can always toggle the LED and make it blink. So for that, what we are going to do is we are going to declare pin number 25 as an output, and we are going to basically create a timer function which is going to toggle our LED. So before that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my terminal into line mode, which is just like Python. So let's just do that. Alright, now I'm going to type my commands over here. So from machine import pin. Okay, pin has been imported. Let's just, yeah, right. So now LED equals to pin 25 comma pin dot out. this would basically turn my pin number 25 as an output pin. Now LED dot value, let's just try LED dot toggle now, because my LED is already off. So yeah, as you can see, it is on now. Okay, yeah. Now I'm going to define the function to toggle this LED back and forth. So basically take it from on to off and off to on. Alright, so for that I need to create a timer, and from machine I'm going to import timer. From machine import timer, and I'm going to create a timer variable. So tim equals to timer, and I'm going to define a timer function now. So define, let's just call it tick, and timer, and colon. Now as you can see, the terminal has changed from these greater than sign to this 3 dots. So whatever we are going to type now is going to be inside this function. So now basically what I'm going to do is I will be typing down to look up the LED variable that we created in the global side. So global space LED. Okay, I need to click over here. Sorry. Global space LED. So this is going to check for the LED variable. Then LED dot toggle. This command is going to toggle our LED. And now we have to define the characteristics of toggling. We are still inside it, and we'll keep pressing enter. Now we are outside. Okay. So what we will do now is we will call back the, what do you say, our timer function that we created, and this should basically keep toggling our LED from on to off. So what I will do is I will call out the timing function. So I will type this command and call out our function. Okay, and look, it's blinking now. So the LED is now has now started blinking. What you can do is you can basically create a lot of things using Raspberry Pi Pico, and because it is based on the ARM architecture, that's really powerful, and I believe this is going to change the world of electronics for us. And if you want to know more about Raspberry Pi Pico, do let us know in the comments. Follow us on our social media handles right here, and do like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.